Hi, welcome to this week's video and welcome to my channel. My name is Sofia and I help people with back pain and performance syndrome heal naturally through mindset, nutrition, and movement. If you are someone who's been stuck with chronic back pain and performance syndrome, consider subscribing to my channel as well as checking out my website. I'm leaving all the links below. I have tons of free resources for you on my blog, so make sure to check them out. So today I want to talk about nutrition, but not just giving you what to eat and what not to eat, because I have another video for that. But I also want to talk about some of the mindset part that comes with eating healthier and trying to heal inflammation, and also how to deal with the challenging part where you're alone in it. So the reason I'm making this video is because I had a question in my Facebook group, which is our Back Pain Warriors Facebook community. And so one of the members asked me if any diet changes made any difference in my sciatica pain. And instead of just typing out a long answer, I decided to make a video for it. So the answer is, of course, yes, diet has made a huge change in healing my inflammation. But it's not just the diet, guys. There are other components that, of course, I include in my coaching. If you are eating the healthiest, most nutritious foods, but you are sedentary, you're not moving, you're still gonna have problems. So healing should have a holistic approach. You should be doing your movement, your daily movement, your exercises, fixing the imbalances. You should also take care of your mind, and you should take care of your body through food as well. So for me, following an anti-inflammatory diet was a must. I didn't really have a choice. After I was diagnosed with AS, which is a very rare spinal condition, and I had either the choice of making a drastic change in my life, or I just had to take immune suppressant drugs. So it was either this or that. And this was in addition to the disc herniation I had and to performance syndrome. So it was really a lot going on, and I reached a point where, I was so done that I wanted to try anything and everything. And that's how I was introduced to the GAPS diet, which is a short-term healing diet, very focused on healing inflammation and healing autoimmune illnesses. So if that's something that you're struggling with right now, I highly recommend the GAPS diet. But if for someone who is just trying to heal inflammation and eat healthier, then you can just follow some of the tips that I'm going to give you in this video, as well as another video I had done specifically for superfoods to heal inflammation. So I'm gonna link that as well below this video. So one of the best foods that I include in my diet that always made me feel so much better was bone broth. And I talk about bone broth a lot. I would make a lot of chicken bone broth, and sometimes I'll buy from the organic store, but most of the time I made my own homemade bone broth, and the chicken one just tasted better. I know some people make beef bone broth or fish bone broth. So for me, the chicken was just much better. It tasted better, and I could actually include it in other vegetable soups. So that was something that I did every single day. I had bone broth every single day. And additional foods that I also added that made a huge difference were fermented vegetables. And by the way, guys, I bought most of this stuff from the organic store because it can take a while to make your own fermented vegetables. I just didn't have the time. I wanted to start right away. And when I look on other blog posts about people going on the GAPS diet, usually they take weeks just planning this diet. But for me, I just wanted to start right away. So don't be discouraged. Most of the time you can find all this stuff at stores. Just make sure that it's organic, that it's really high quality. So some of the things that also have helped me were turmeric and ginger, and I have those every single day. I always have to have either turmeric or ginger or both at home. So usually how I consume them, I make teas with them, or I put them in my smoothies as well as juices. I have tons of blog posts sharing all of my recipes when I was doing the GAPS diet. So there's a whole category on my website on very healthy anti-inflammatory recipes. There's juices, smoothies, there's even things like pancakes and cookies. So you can check them out later on. And of course, as I mentioned, juices were amazing as well. Vegetable juicing every single day. I usually juice one apple with kale, carrots, a lemon, cucumbers. I have a recipe for you again below the video, but these were all of the things combined that made a huge difference in how I felt every single day. So before I go on to talk about the things to eliminate, because there will be foods that you will feel that they're not really helping you or contributing to your healing. But I want to talk a little bit about the mindset part here because it can be really, really challenging to go ahead and just start eating this way, especially if you've been eating normally for a little while. It can be tough to just change your way of eating, and especially when you're very social, things will come up. You'll be invited to events, you'll be invited to birthdays. Maybe you have a job where they bring lunches sometimes, or you have coffee breaks with donuts. And for me, one thing that I would always hear is that she's so picky, she doesn't want to eat with us because everyone will be eating the same thing, but I'm bringing my own food. And sometimes it's like a family gathering and it was really awkward to not eat what everyone else was eating and just bring my own food. And it took a lot of energy to explain to people why I was doing that. It was really draining to just be in that awkward situation and tell people why I'm doing it, what I'm suffering from. And these people just didn't really get it, right? Like, they don't really know what you're going through. They don't know the pain that you were at that caused you to just make that dramatic change. So it was challenging, and honestly the only thing that kept me strong was my will and the motivation. And my motivation was pain. I was so done. Like, I've had enough of all of the pain I was at, and I had that mindset of I'm gonna do whatever it takes. I don't care what I have to do to get better. So that's kind of the mindset you have to be at. I'm not saying that you have to have that much pain, but you have to have a very strong mindset that nothing will shake you. It doesn't matter where you are or what someone tells you. You are just grounded in your decision and you're doing it. So that's something that I work with my clients to cultivate. We do this before we even start my programs. If you don't have the mindset backing you up, it's so easy to give up, guys. Like, it's really easy. I've had so many times where it was really easy to just reach out to that cookie or just have a little lasagna when I was in the middle of my diet. So if you feel like you need help with this part, if you feel like this is the part that is keeping you stuck, you start eating healthy and then something happens, someone brings something, you're at an event, and then that is the part that you find challenging, please check out my coaching programs. I focus so much on the mindset part because it was the only thing that really helped me keep going after 7 years of debilitating pain. And here's a tip for you guys: if you find yourself in a situation when everyone is eating the same way and you have to bring your own food or you just can't eat like them, what I found really useful is, instead of just explaining to them everything that's happening, why I'm doing this, and it takes like 10 minutes, what I just started doing was I say, I'm just following my doctor's orders, or I'm allergic to that. So people, when they hear doctor, they can't argue with that, and they just they respect that. They respect the fact that I am following my doctor's orders. So that's just one line that I've used so many times, and it saved me energy, and it also saved me that awkwardness. And here's something else that I found really challenging when I was trying to really do the GAP side 100%, no cheating, was that it can be really lonely sometimes. So I would go on these blogs to find some recipes, and most of the time it was family blogs, and usually it's like the couples will go through the diet together, or it's like a family, all the kids, everyone is doing the diet together, and there's that support, everyone is like in it. But for me, I was alone in it. I had to make the bone broth overnight. I had to wake up really early and make the soup and make the juices and pack everything up, and having really low energy because I'm not having any carbs, and just push through the day. And then I'm with my family and they're eating normally, and you smell delicious food and you want to be included in that. So it could be really lonely. And again, here's where the mindset part kicks in. You have to have all those routines and all those practices that are helping you and keeping you grounded, where nothing can really shake you. You're very strong. And believe me, when you go through that phase, you feel so proud of yourself. You feel really empowered, and you feel like you can do anything. And also, people will respect you for that. People close to you that maybe didn't support you in the first place. And now I want to move quickly to the foods that may be causing you a lot of issues. So when I first was doing this diet, I noticed that whenever I would include certain foods, I felt a lot of reaction from my body. And for me, personally, these were beans and wheat and certain starches, but it's very different from person to person. So I really encourage you to pay close attention to how you're feeling when you're eating certain foods. And this is kind of where intuitive eating comes into place. And there's a video that I did a little while ago with a friend of mine who's a nutritionist about that. So you want to cultivate that mindfulness when you're eating to really know how certain foods are making you feel. And that way you can quickly and easily eliminate certain foods that created more inflammation, created more bloating, and not really helping your body heal. So before I finish this video, I really want to ask you, what is your 1 or 2 takeaways from this video? I want to make these videos to add value for you guys, but if you're just watching them and not taking action and applying these things, nothing will change. So I want you to take action and tell me below, what is 1 or 2 things you've learned and what are your takeaways? What are you gonna implement? And again, if you need help with any of these things, reach out to me. My email is below the video and I look forward to helping you. And again, if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe and I'll see you guys next time.